Question number 42, the first statement. An acidic buffer solution can be prepared by mixing a weak acid with its sodium salt. This is a correct statement because what is a buffer? A buffer solution is a solution which doesn't change its pH significantly in the addition of a small amount of a strong acid or a small amount of a strong base and a small amount of distilled water. Right, doesn't change its pH in the addition pH significantly when a small amount of a strong acid or a strong base or distilled water is added. Now we can prepare buffer solutions using two different methods. To do that, we have to understand what happens in a buffer solution. Why do buffer solutions do not change their pH significantly in the addition of a strong acid or a strong base? Because there are species which neutralizes the strong acid and the strong base. So there has to be two species present in the buffer solution. One is to neutralize the strong acid that we add. The next one is to neutralize the strong base that we add. So the first method will be using a weak acid and its salt. So the weak acid can neutralize the strong base. Since its salt is a basic compound, it can neutralize the strong acid that we add. The next method, we can use a weak base and its salt. So the weak base will neutralize the strong acid that we add, and its salt, since it is acidic, it will neutralize the strong base that we add. So there are two methods that we can make buffer solutions. Okay, let's go to the second statement. When OH minus ions or H plus ions are added to a buffer solution, the added amount of OH or H plus ions are removed through the reactions these. The OH minus ions will be neutralized by the weak acid. H plus ions will be neutralized by the salt ions. Therefore, this is correct. But they say here, when these ions are added to a buffer solution, they don't specifically say to the buffer solutions we prepared in the first statement. But someone can say this is a correct statement and it explains the answer. So you can take the answer as the first one. And since it does not specifically say this thing happens when this thing happens to the solutions that we prepared in the first statement, so it doesn't explain the first statement. So someone can take the answer as the second one. If we take the buffer solution as the first one, so these two reactions represents the buffer action. That is what I explained here. See, the weak acid neutralizes the strong base, the salt neutralizes the strong acid. Therefore, this solution can act as a buffer. Yes, that is true. But it is not the only case that a buffer solution is prepared. We can use a weak base and its salt. So it is not explained here. Therefore, this statement can be taken as a statement which explains the first one, and as well as it doesn't explain the first one. So the answers will be first one and second one. Alright, let's move on to the next question.